Hey there guys, Miller the MK here from World of Tanks Tutor with a sweet informative video for all y'all tankers out there. Basically, in World of Tanks there's several different classes. There's lights, mediums, heavies, TDs, and arty. Arty probably gets the most hate and TDs second right now since the recent patches, but there's something I've found working with guys from my training clan or with just new players to the game in general, is that people tend to go up tank lines without knowing a lot about them, and this video is to kind of help combat a little bit of that ignorance with the light tank lines. Primarily the audience that I'm looking for here is who will be helped most is guys with maybe 5k plus games. If you're below that, you may have to grind a line anyway. But if you're plus 5k, you probably have a little free XP, maybe a little Clan Wars gold, something like that, where you may be able to skip tanks. And really, that's what the video is about. What tanks are total duds that you don't want to play for the low tier lights. And without further ado, we're just going to launch into it working from America all the way down. M2 light tank, solid. M3 Stewart, it starts to get a little bit sketched. The tutorial version of the Stewart's actually not bad, but this gets a little bit crazy. The M5 Stewart is bad. There's been some mixed opinions on it. I've played this tank. I've hated it. It can't spot properly. It can't affect games. The view range is only 370 and it's getting tiered way up. And it gets a 75mm howitzer, which is totally useless. 91 pen and 110 damage shooting gold. So the gist of it is skip the Stewart, get the Chaffee. Alright, here we go. Moving on. British. The really cool thing with most of the British lights is they actually get standard matchmaker. So the Cruiser, Covenanter, Crusader, etc., they're classified as lights, but they get what I would say is medium or just the 2-tier spread matchmaker. Skipping to the German lights, there's a lot of duds in here. Pz38 was really bad, but it probably playable in my experience. This Pz38 Na, horrific. Do not play it. It is a free EXP pinata running around. Let's look at the stats real quick. 370 view range, and this stupid little 5cm. Bad accuracy, okay pen, better pen than the M4. The gist of this is, this tank is very small, it's very easy to hit, it doesn't go that fast. I'm sure you found them in game and gone, oh man, this is fantastic, let me kill it. That's what I think whenever I see a Pz38 Na. I would never recommend anyone to play that. Deluxe. Mixed reviews on this. It gets kind of an okay gun. It's the same as the other tank is using here, but it gets a better platform. It's substantially faster. Let's check the view range. 360. A little bit anemic view range. The tank stats as they stand. Obviously no armor. That's not a big deal. Speed limit of 60. That's kind of viable if you enjoy playing these sort of low tier mess around scouts. I don't, and I would not honestly recommend the Lux to anyone except, I won't name names, but some people I know think it's the cutest tank in the game. Leo, not necessarily a low tier scout, but it's something I would say give it a go. The Leo and the ELC actually get better matchmaker than all the other tier 5 lights. So if you want to avoid maybe a lot of tier 10 but you enjoy the idea of having a tier 5 light, do it. Get the Leo, put the pew pew gun on it, and have fun smashing other very lightly armored tanks. PZ1C gets standard matchmaker, as does these two to the best of my knowledge, and obviously the PZ2, PZ1, etc. You've got to basically play through those. It's a tier 2, you don't need hardly any XP. Okay, quickly moving on, the French tanks. There's some really heated opinions on this. I enjoy the AMX40. We're going to work backwards here. AMX40 was fun, but extremely slow. If you look, the reason why people hate it is the gun. 74 standard pen. It cannot pen itself with regularity. Even shooting gold, it has massive problems penning itself. Accuracy is trash, 0.46. So if you want a sort of KV5 with no R2D2 in tier 4, get the AMX40. If that doesn't sound like you, I recommend you skip it. A lot of guys hate it. I tend to like it. A few other gents tend to like it. MX38, horribly slow, big flat sides. It's nasty. This tank, I should note though, neither of these get light tank matchmaker. It's still a 2-tier spread. But the MX38 is a super dud. It gets a meh 47mm, but it's horribly slow. You're not going to be able to RTB, and it looks awful. Maybe I'm the only guy who picks tanks according to looks, but this thing is, it's not winning any beauty contest. These are all mediums here, basically, except the D1, and obviously, again, the tier 2s, we'll just play through them. Russian tanks. Our basic last line here, except for these. Here we go. T26, very good. T46, very good. T28, very good. T50, not as good as it used to be post-nerf, but still pretty legit. You know, this got 330, which you initially would think, wow, that's really anemic compared to the other tier 4 lights. And it is. The thing is, the T50 has great moving camo and has great maneuverability. So even post-nerf, T50, I would still recommend you guys play it. Should be pretty fun. BT2, great. BT7, great. All of these tanks, these 4 right here, are what low-tier patters tend to use. A20, horrible. It's not that maneuverable. It has okay flatline speed, but it's super pokey when you go to turn. Do not recommend. The light tank needs to be maneuverable. If it's going to work, A20 is not such a light tank. T60, T70, and T80 all get medium tank matchmaker. I have not played these. I've worked with guys who have played them, and they look just so-so. You can see pretty low damage for tier 4. Of course, it is working off the light montage there. Good accuracy, good aim time, and good rate of fire. So again, basically they get medium tank matchmaker, and I wouldn't worry about skipping any of these as long as you can handle absolutely no armored tanks. Real quick, the last line here. Chiha, quite good tank. VAE type B, utterly forgettable. It's not a tank. If you feel like skipping a tier 2 in any of these lists, I would probably skip this one. It looks horrible, it's not that great, and it leads to a pretty good tank being the Chiha. M5A1 Stuart goes into the same problems that the American version does, and is not a tank I would recommend. I have tried playing it and thought, this is pretty horrible. So once again, don't recommend. It gets 350 view range and gets a 47 mil with pretty bad accuracy, aim time stats, and low damage. So, gist of it is, in recap, there are some tanks in World of Tanks you will want to skip. Them primarily being the M5A1, really none of the Russians except the A20, the Pz38 for sure, possibly the Pz40, and the Pz38 Na, absolutely, no doubt in my mind, probably the Lux as well. Going up to the British, whether people like these or not, it's not really a problem because they don't get light tank matchmaker. And going to the American line, M5 Stuart. Alrighty, if folks have any questions, comments, or perhaps dissenting opinions based on my take on the lights in this game, go ahead and drop me a line in-game, on the video, whatever. Once again, the gist of this video is to help you guys avoid duds as you grind up the line. Tanks are supposed to be entertainment, it's supposed to be fun. It's not fun when you're stuck playing tanks that are absolutely atrocious. Alright, hope this was helpful for y'all, and have a great day.